Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yes, I know this man. When I said know him, just I saw him maybe twice during my time in the Jamaica Constabulary force. At the time he was at West Kingston. He's a young police officer. He's a young police officer to me. His name is Terrence Bent, and you can see him, celebrating having a time of his life, a party. His ascension to a new job in the Turks and Caicos Island, TCI. But before I delve down into Terrence Bent, I can tell you this. Of all the police officers in the Jamaica Constabulary force, I don't know how this man was able to pass a Jamaican background check to get a job in TCI. Now he's promoted to he had received a job as an assistant commissioner of police. But when Jamaica wrote his background intelligence report, because of all the police officers that have served in the Jamaica Constabulary force, Terrence Bent, and I'm not saying that legend, Terrence Bent is the most corrupt of all of them. Terrence Bent make Harry Daly, Renita Adams, Arthur Brown, Cowboy, and Ox like a baby. Because what Terrence Bent was, he was a crime lord in the police force. And I say it without any apologies because of not only intelligence, but based on information received and obtained from other police officers who have served with him in the police force. This man was corrupt to the core. This is a man who was shot and injured by a Dan from my community where I was born and raised. A guy that was living in the United States by the name of Ricardo Tyler. And he collected money from him after I had shot him in his shoulder. Trust me, no guy could shot me or shoot at me and I collect money from him, period. But that goes to show you the kind of person he is. So when you're talking about corruption, Terrence Bent is the epitome of corruption. Terrence Bent used the police force and young police officers to commit crimes, murders on behalf of elites in Jamaica. And he was protected because these were people who have connection politically. So now they send him now to Turks and Caicos. So some people are saying, well, the promotion is a trap. Because you know that this man don't even have a US visa. Because the American had revoked his visa. We don't know if he had. If they're in process of giving him back to him. Because you know that we have a different administration right now, Donald Trump. And we can literally write a book about this man. Some people are asking whether this appointment is a reward for our experience I would place Dr. Terrence Bent in a position where every past allegations every decision and every relationship will now come under international scrutiny. As we say, he's the most corrupt. Whether or not you want to believe it. Right now there are 2 young police officers who are in jail charged with the murder of a Don from Spanish Town, and it was done at the base of Terrence Bent. That's how they scrap mobile reserve. I have no problem getting rid of criminals, but the way that Terrence Bent went about it, make any decent, law-abiding citizen would have to be thinking, what kind of person is this? This man is not a police officer, he's a criminal. But this is just part 1 where, we're telling you about this man, because we have known about him from his time in West Kingston. It seemed like when he went to West Kingston, that is where the criminality, the criminal mind, that's when it come to the fore. They start to link with Roxy. I was going to tell later about even Roxy too. And having criminals have him in his pocket. As I said before and I'll say again, it doesn't matter because a police officer is a hard-working police officer. There's no excuse for you committing crimes. I don't respect or rate police officers like that. So Bent was pretty much a Dandenite police force itself, because what he was able to do was to get his juniors to go out there and commit crimes on his behalf, whilst he was enriching himself. So he was using the police force as hitmen that would, go around the island and commit crimes. And some people would, link the police officers who were under his control to even crimes that they did not play any part in. But that's how it is in Jamaica. They say if it don't go so, it go near so. So where I said the promotion are a trap, the Terrence Bent question. Terrence Bent make Renita Adams and Harry Bungles, Derek Cowboy Knight, Donovan Ox O'Connor, Arthur Brown and the likes babies. This man never have criminality. Without saying alleged criminality, because he never convicted. He's on a different level. But in a Turks, we know that Fitzbailey. We know that Terrence Bent and Fitzbailey are friends. Birds of the same feather flock together. Corrupt alike. Whether or not you want to believe it, we can tell you some things about Fitzbailey from Clarendon to war and war with other police, for fatal shooting money, killing criminal out by Palmer's Cross and all kind of things. And Fitzbailey can sue because if him suing and then that's why we love America. Get to depose him and ask him questions. You understand? We don't tell lies on people. So birds of the same feather flock together. So we are saying it's a set them asset because they're setting up Terrence Bent to send him to prison. Because when somebody is a full-fledged criminal-minded person, no matter where you put them, they're always going to think and behave as a criminal. How this man get a job over Turks and Caicos Island? Fitzbailey is the commissioner of police, and they say the job was you have a guy like Selvin here, a former deputy commissioner of police, who could have applied and get the same job because Selvin here clean police. Yeah, deputy commissioner of police. In the charge one time for fire him gun in a 1989 one dance, and Reggie Grant help him. Good police apart from that, and I just saw it go on them thing there. St. Thomas police and all them now. When they come on, we are digress. When they come on to outside police, them not like outside police. You go in and them parish and commit no crime. You dad dance and music nice and you go to jail. So them work at St. Thomas. But we don't know Selvin here apply for that job, but Selvin here would be a better candidate. Even Fitzbailey as commissioner of police. Imagine all that man as commissioner of police. And I can tell you so many things about both men. I never work with them personally, but as I say, intelligence. Some of them even from even same police officers and both men. You know, I'll do another video about their connection to some people. Shady people, who say criminals in Jamaica. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing a story that has sent shockwaves through Jamaica and the Caribbean. A former senior officer of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Dr. Terrence Bent, has been appointed Assistant Commissioner of Police in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Sending this man here is like giving puss the job to guard the butter. And if you put puss to guard the butter, you're supposed to know the answer. For some people, this is a moment of pride. They say a Jamaican officer has once again risen to one of the highest ranks in regional policing. So we're going to do a video about another police officer. We name Bubba. Bubba from 100 Man. Bubba is one of Terrence Bent's prodigy. Yes. Bubba. Terrence Bent was able to recruit him and take care and make him get an inspector the other day. Kind of influence in our police force. The reason why Terrence Bent is protected in our police force, them couldn't kick him out or anything like that, is because of his connection. He's related to the former crime minister, Bruce Golding. Bruce Golding wasn't a labor right, you know, he was an opportunist. First Jamaican prime minister who had to resign in a disgrace. That's Terrence Bent, cousin, so he was protected. But for others, there are questions. Questions that have followed him for years. Questions about allegations, relationships, decisions, and whether this appointment means a fresh start or whether it places him under even brighter spotlight. Who is behind the hiring of this man in a Turks and Caicos Island? This have to be Fitzroy. Yes, this has to be Fitzbailey. Because Terrence Bent, the only difference between Terrence Bent and Zeeks is that Zeeks is a criminal. Zeeks is a Don for Mattis Lane, while Terrence Bent is the Don in a police force that has subordinates under his command and able to get them to commit murders in Jamaica. We're not diminishing some of the work that the men have done, but that's not how police operates, going around committing murder because they want to get rid of people in that fashion. But the thing is that when police are going out to kill people for money as hitmen or hitmen, that is not policing, that's criminality. And if you're sending people to the departure lounge, that is totally different. But killing people for money, that is not policing, that is criminality. And I can't tell anyone, if you are even friends with, you think that you're friends, if you think that you are friends with Terrence Bent, ask Rooksy how that went. What happened to Rooksy? Yeah, Rooksy, the GLP Dan. From Rosetown. Yes, the number of killing, linked to Terrence Bent and his minions, is so many, but he's a high-profile criminals, and that they have been paid to kill these people, or given orders to kill them. That's how we operate. I don't know how him do it, but Renita Adams and Harry Bongos are baby, and Arthur Brown and the others, they are all baby to this man, how this man operated. But he was untouchable in our police force. So now he's going to the Turks and Caicos Island. I know normally when you get in a job, in another jurisdiction, the first thing they would, want to make sure that you can travel to the United States, because sometimes you have to go on courses there with the FBI. And Terrence Bent do not have a valid United States visa, because his visa was revoked by the American government. So I don't know how he was able to pass to sidestep that part of the process. But he and Fitzbailey, they are friends, and Fitzbailey, I don't know, ordinary police either, not because him not go out there and shot people, or, you understand what I'm saying, or people shot him. Because I can bet my life that throughout Fitzbailey police career, him never fire him gun yet. And I asked, because when I was a police, in my police force, Fitzbailey was at fraud squad. Them the man in handful when I shooting on nobody of them thing there. You understand what I'm saying? They might, be able to articulate themselves with it, by giving good press conference, but otherwise I'm not the man on a real police, paper police. Or baby police. I won't say baby police. Terrence Bent now, I don't know police, no, Terrence Bent a criminal police. I would say that without any apologies. Just like Renita Adams, Harry Bongos, and Arthur Brown, and I can go on, because a whole heap of criminal police, reach the Gazette ranking of the Jamaica Constabulary force. How them get promotion? Because they are connected to the elites in Jamaica. As I said before, and I say again, the real criminals in Jamaica are really the elites. So anyway, moving on. So I want to make something clear from the beginning. Allegations are not convictions. Just remember that. These are just allegations. And they are not conviction. Conviction are when they go to court and them try and them find you guilty and say you're a thief. So let me give you some context, some background about Terrence Bent. As I tell you all the time, Terrence Bent is a Kingston, he never born and raised at Kingston. He go to school at Kingston. When I talk about, one of our family members was teaching at KSC, at Kingston College. But we can't tell us boy, Terrence Bent, a real old corrosion, corrobunkers and dirty bungo, criminal in a uniform. You never want to be, and hey, look here, all when this man visit America, some place where this man, that's why I'm losing visa. The man is brave as a criminal, the man is not shame, You understand? But yet still him still get promotion in our police force to reach SSP. No one should be judged guilty without evidence or due process. However, in a democracy, people have the right to ask questions, especially when someone assumes a powerful public office. Could this appointment become the greatest opportunity of his career? Yes. Because maybe next thing, I become the commissioner of police. Imagine that. But I can't tell you that. This is just me. I'm not talking from a perspective of, I'm not talking from any knowledge of what is happening with Terrence Bent. But basically, I can say that more or less they are setting him up to send him to prison. Because people who are criminal minded, them never change, because them always, because for all of the decades and all the years him a commit all kind of crime and him get away with it, him always see say him still can't get away with it, even in a different jurisdiction. And them what is going to happen? Them if I have a conspiracy, them going to get him in. Or Fitzbailey. Don't be surprised if them lock up them two police here over there. You understand? The Americans. Because they know that they are corrupt police officers. When I say knowledge, I tell you about that. We have things from Fitzbailey where we can make you hear how much money people were dead at Palmer's Cross and Clarendon and all kind of man, people that toss off your money and all of them things. Same Fitzbailey. Yeah, as we said before, we don't like thieving police, And them man go to church and say them a preacher. Them man are dangerous, So moving on. So as we said before, the appointment could be a trap. Because them know say a thief never change. Never. Because them a do it for years. And seem that they are dance and a gallivant but yet still I can't tell you say Men like him in a police force, although he's a known criminal, and became convicted of a crime. You have police, just like in a criminal and earth, we have police that celebrate, laud and revere him, put him on a pedestal because he commit crime and get away with it as a police officer. That's me. I look on him with scorn. You understand? Terrence Bent couldn't, as a police officer, if I was serving, Terrence Bent, I would not look up to him as any police. I see him as a criminal. And I would say it publicly, even if, if him in charge of me, I said, no, Ed, me just different. As a man come from the belly of the beast. The man come from country and look how the man come and do the police force. That's them affair all scrap all mobile reserve. That was there before, from you understand, from what we kill Philip. Because mobile reserve was created for crowd control, dealing in demonstration, protests, especially for the union people. Some people say, could this be a promotion? Yes. Or could it turn out into a trap? And we more believe it's a trap. Him now going to change. Because him still have him criminal links them. You understand? And them are going to listen to him phone call them. If they don't get him with a charge, then we'll get him with conspiracy. We're not going to educate him because it's not every police really have sense, And when I'm a criminal-minded person and I talk to another criminal and I talk to a criminal, yes, that's when the real criminality comes out. Tonight we examine the facts, the perceptions and the lessons for every public servant in Jamaica and across the Caribbean. Stay with me until the end because this story is bigger than one man. And please, just type and tell me where you're watching from. And before going further, I was talking with a police officer over the weekend. We're talking about active police officer. We're not going to tell you with a gazette or, our rank and file police officer, and talking about Terrence Bent. And he was like, why, you not afraid them kill you? I said, afraid of what? I said, number one, Terrence Bent, I behave a police to me and them thing. Terrence Bent a thief. Terrence Bent a criminal. No guy couldn't shoot off me and then shot me in my shoulder and me collect money. You understand? So, the reason why Terrence Bent, because a criminal-minded police look up to him. Like for me, I say Terrence Bent is a criminal. Period. I have no respect for men like him. But see, my God, Turks and Caicos Island. If you have decent police where over there from Jamaica, but we say, oh, him can't talk to me. And we eventually just go back to Jamaica. I work with police officers like that. We have to make this video into a two-part series. Those who recognize the value of data know it plays the ultimate game-changing role. Data drives decisions, shapes strategies, and ensures impactful outcomes. This principle has guided our decision to reimagine our series into two distinct parts. This approach isn't just stylistic choice, it's deliberate. It's a deliberate effort to enhance your learning experience and maximize engagement. By breaking the series into manageable segments, we are giving each part the attention and depth it deserves. This structure allows us to dive deeply into every facet of each subject, creating an immersive narrative that's easier to digest. Each part will naturally flow into the next, ensuring continuity, keeping you excited to return for more. This segmented approach transforms complex topics into meaningful, impactful lessons that resonate long after viewing. What's in it for you? Our two-part format allows us to deepen exploration by narrowing our focus. We can provide a richer, more comprehensive analysis of each topic, enhance engagement, bite-sized segments, make it easier for you to stay engaged without feeling overwhelmed. Create anticipation. Each installment builds momentum, keeping you eager for the next chapter. This structure isn't just about improving our content. It is about delivering the insight you deserve in a truly valuable way. Unlock the full experience on Patreon. Join the Jamaica Young Police Channel squad. For those who can't wait to dive into the entire series or want even more exclusive content, we invite you to join us on Patreon. As a Patreon supporter, you will unlock, yes, you will unlock early access to full-length videos, behind the scenes, insights, and special perks reserved for our most dedicated viewers. Click the link in the description to join us on Patreon and take your engagement to the next level. It costs less than a quarter, US quarter, yes, 25 cents a day. Why become a Patreon member? Supporting us on Patreon is far more than a subscription. It's an investment in content that matters to you. As part of our Patreon family, you will join a global community of like-minded individuals committed to impactful, honest content about Jamaica and beyond. Our Patreon community spans North America, Europe, Africa, the Pacific, and the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, Cayman Islands, Barbados, Antigua, Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Island. That's the same place where we're doing this video about, where Terrence Bent is going. Terrence Bent cannot leave his reputation in Jamaica. He's taking it with him. So the people in Turks and Caicos, they can't say, I don't know, you haven't received any information about this man. As I said before, and I'll say again, I don't know how Terrence Bent get this job in Turks and Caicos. And this must be because of political connection and because he is friends with Fitzbailey. So it goes to show me your company and tell me who you are. So the man who's the commissioner of police, not a squeaky clean police officer. If it was like a Selvin A, you understand, or a MacArthur Sutherland, who's at era 2, you talk about decent, ethical, and police will have character and integrity. Police will not mix up in a criminality. But that's how it is in a Jamaica Constabulary force. Police who are, who can't be corrupted, then they may reach like a MacArthur Sutherland, but that's there because the elites now have no use for him because he can't be controlled and he's not corrupt. And we can't point to no other assistant commissioner of police or, you understand, as well can point to MacArthur Sutherland. Reason being is just because we used to be on the street. So wherever you are, you'll find yourself in the company of a worldwide network of viewers passionate about making a difference. Your support fuels our vision. To our current Patreon members, thank you. Your contributions are the lifeblood of the Jamaica Young Police channel. And you know that your support allows us to maintain and improve the channel, produce high quality, well-researched videos, address viewers' requests and explore new topic. Because of you, we can keep delivering the hard-hitting, insightful content you rely on. We understand your time is valuable and we have heard your feedback, and that is why we are committed to keep our videos under 30 minutes while maintaining the depth and quality you have come to expect. Each video is crafted to address topics that matter to you, ensuring your experience is both meaningful and efficient. So join us on Patreon, be a part of the journey. By joining us on Patreon, you are not just a viewer, but a part of the mission. Together, we can continue to uncover truths, share critical insights, and inspire positive change. Click the link in the description to become a part of the Jamaica Young Police Channel family. Your voices guide us. Your support sustains us. Together, we'll keep building something extraordinary. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel. Before we go part 2, we'll be same time tomorrow. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.